This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me through this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers, Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood, Andre the Man in White, Chad Welsh, Sean McGuire, Rikky Morrisette, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, and Eddie Costello. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Eric Burdick to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really couldn't do this without you. In this episode, we are starting Lord of Chaos with the first half of the prologue.
Yeah, oh my goodness. We have come so far.
Yes. Tell me what the prologue's called, though.
Yeah, the prologue is called The First Message.
Okay.
Yes, and we're just doing the first 4 perspectives.
Yes.
So that's roughly half of the prologue because it is so long. It's like 75 pages.
I actually haven't even finished it.
Okay, so
I've read a little bit past where we're covering.
Yeah.
But I cannot tell you what the first message is.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't figured it out yet.
Okay, we can talk about that after you're done.
You think it's covered in here?
I mean, I don't want to talk about that because you're not done the prologue. So like we're not gonna spoil things.
Okay.
Gonna stay on track here. But I mean, it's pretty cool because we get a whole bunch of perspectives. We get a new person.
Somebody tell me what a prologue is.
Okay,
you know what? Okay, at first, the first perspective, I was like, yes.
So cool.
This is what I think of when I think of prologue.
Okay.
And then, after the first perspective...
Backtracked a little bit.
We just start the story.
Why isn't that chapter 1?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Why did the prologue... Yeah.
So I'll tell you that I did do some research on what a prologue is.
Is that your fun fact?
No, it's not, because it's a little bit disappointing. But I searched what's a prologue and what's an epilogue, and I still don't actually know what is classified and why.
It's like because the author felt like it?
A little bit. That's, correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody out there who actually has a...
I feel like we've talked about this enough times that
someone should have come forward.
Had any information,
yeah,
the conversation that was sparked because of a conversation about is lunch dinner?
Oh yeah, that was wild.
Or is supper dinner?
Yeah, who knows?
That was wild. But prologue stuff?
Prologue and epilogue.
Crickets.
But this is the thing. The prologue is like the start of the story. Sometimes it's like foreshadowing about what the book is going to be about. But I mean, that sometimes happens in chapter 1 too. Like, I don't know why or what the differentiating factor is. And epilogue is like what happens after like the characters and the plot is done. But again, it's like, why isn't it just the last chapter? I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe if it's, kind of separate from what's going on, or if it's a significant amount of time after the plot.
Who knows?
But I've decided. You ready?
Yes.
I don't care.
You don't? Okay. Ouch.
I just don't care anymore.
Okay, that's,
Because it is what it is.
Until we get a firm answer.
I'm gonna let it be, and we're just gonna move on.
Okay.
How's that?
There's a lot of stuff to talk about in this first half of the prologue, though.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Do we have any, housekeeping to do before we, jump into things?
Yeah, we do. First is the drinks I made.
Oh, yes. They were very fun.
I made
already had half of it.
specialty cocktails.
Okay.
And it's called the Cocktail of Chaos.
I love it. It's so delicious. I've already had most of it.
It has a lot of different alcohols in it, a lot of different liquor in it.
Yeah.
And that's why it is chaotic.
I love it. It's great. It's bright reddish, pinkish.
Yeah, I was actually
orangey.
Yeah. Yep.
It's good.
Thanks. I'm glad you like it.
All right. So shall we cheers to Lord of Chaos?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
All right, now before I let you have a fun fact.
Okay.
Launching into Lord of Chaos here.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about this cover.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I got a story about the cover, about how bad it is and how much I hate it.
I have to tell you, I love this cover.
Why?
It is hilarious.
My story is just me going to be ragging on the book cover.
I think it is so funny.
It
is
the
hilarious.
worst. Of all the book covers that there are, this is literally the worst, my least favorite book cover.
But what a beautiful sunset.
I mean...
Beautiful.
Sure. So, I mean, to describe it, we've got...
And this is the Daryl K. Sweet... whatever edition, whatever.
Yeah. It's like Canadian North America. So first of all, we've got Ross Geller on the cover page here.
Ross Geller. I was going to say John Travolta.
Tight leather pants.
Look at John Travolta.
I get that too. I can see that.
In Saturday Night Fever.
It's like that.
Is it Friday Night Fever?
I don't know.
Saturday Night
That's
the disco one.
The disco one. Okay. So tight, like leather black pants, billowy white shirt that has the deepest V you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like it's unbuttoned. It just looks like it's a V-neck.
No, it's a V-neck. It's a deep V.
That collar is so close to being popped. There's a Drakkar in the background.
For no
like,
reason.
flying around.
Yeah, I love it. It's hilarious. And then can I tell you about who I think this lady is?
Yeah,
so obviously this is supposed to be Rand, which is like wild.
Yeah.
But
he's a good looking guy.
It's okay. But this woman, it's so who knows. So she's wearing a blue shawl cape.
Shawl cape, yeah.
But it has like the Aes Sedai like Flame of Tarvalin
a little bit
on the back of it.
Yeah, it does.
But it's red. So is this a blue sister or is it a red sister?
It's a good question.
And then
is that
also,
even a... Yeah.
Is it an Aes Sedai? Or is that just a fancy rendering?
Maybe that could be
else?
any one of a number of women.
Because I was going to say Elayne.
There's also
purely based on the hair color, but...
Yeah. There's also a dead guy on the back who's got like an arrow sticking out of him. You don't really see him, but he's almost underneath the wagon. So that might even be Padden Fane dead underneath the wagon. Like, who knows?
There he is.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So there's a lot of things going on here, and I absolutely hate the cover. It's just the worst.
I love it.
It's pretty hilarious.
It's hilarious.
So,
it's so good. Okay.
Romance novel style.
Love it.
It's
Moving
fantastic. On. Okay. Now we can get into the fun fact.
Go
I got
ahead.
a good one because I got to start us off pretty simple.
Sure.
Book stats.
Book stats.
Love them. Okay. This is the longest book in the entire series.
I know. I can't wait.
I know. So this book has 395,000 words. A little bit over that. But
sure.
395,000 words. There's 55 chapters, a prologue, and an epilogue. And this is the first Wheel of Time book to have an epilogue.
Oh, and that's at the end.
That's at the end. So
okay.
It not only has the before one, it's got the after one. And it's not really going to help us figure that out because it's just like before and after, so who knows?
Okay.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that after this book, we are over the hump. And what I mean by that, book 4, 5, 6...
are the longest.
Are like basically the longest until we get to the very, very end of the series. But after these 3 books, like the next 3 are way shorter. So we're just like going to blast off and go so fast. It's going to be so good. Yeah.
Okay.
Reading book 4 to 6 is the equivalent of reading an additional book. That's how much longer they are. It's crazy.
Oh, okay.
They're so much longer than the next one's coming.
But they're very good.
They are very much so. Absolutely.
So, I'm not someone to complain about the length of a book or a series.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this lots of times. I don't think it's a negative thing to have lots of things to read.
I don't either. It's just like, I'm looking at purely by workload of going through this. So.
Our workload is not going to change regardless.
Yeah,
because
it's the same. It's just how many books we get through.
We just keep going no matter what book we're in.
Exactly.
That's the plan.
I just like to think of that in those aspects. So,
fair.
Shall we jump into this?
Okay, before we do.
Right.
I typically at this point do a last time on.
Yeah.
However, last time on, we covered the book New Spring, the prequel novel.
Yes, we did.
And I want to mention that here, just to let everybody know that we are not going to be talking about New Spring in any of the episodes going forward.
Yeah, so just in case you did not read New Spring or you're waiting till publication order, we are not talking about it.
And if you jump from our last season 5 episode to this episode, you're golden.
Yeah,
you're not going to miss a whole bunch of stuff. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry, we're not talking about it until after publication order. Then we'll talk about it.
And maybe.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Right.
That's in the future. That's like a future problem.
So because it has been a while for us, it's been a little over a month since we finished Fires of Heaven. And since then, we've been on the Dusty Wheel.
Yes, okay.
So if you are interested in hearing everything we have to say and all of our prediction recap, all of our breakdowns of everything about the Fires of Heaven, you can go head on over to the Dusty Wheel on YouTube and check out our first time Fires of Heaven reader episode over there.
Yes, awesome.
Now, quick recap about what the heck happened last time in Fires of Heaven.
So many things. Oh my God,
Where did we leave off?
We're going to miss so many things too.
Everything. We're going to miss everything.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a circus at one point.
There was. Okay. What else you got?
Rand had sex in an igloo with Avienda.
That was pretty awesome.
That was a big point.
It lasted hours. Okay. Keep
sure
going.
He did. Brigida stuff happened.
Yeah. She's out in the world.
And Elaine's warder.
Yes, she is. Okay.
Now, Moghedien had been chasing the women and is now in Salidar, but we don't know who she is quite yet.
Yes.
The reveal's coming.
That was the biggest, like, mic drop at the end of book 5.
That was huge.
Huge, okay.
Lanfear and Moraine, situation happened.
Gone. Both of them are gone.
Gone.
Yeah, I know I didn't say dead because you're
you
like,
didn't
oh, they're
say
not
dead.
dead, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morgaze escaped and everyone thinks she's dead.
Fantastic.
But she's not. She's off to, like, Amadicia or something.
She's not dead yet. Okay.
Right?
We'll see
And
what
then
happens.
we have Rand, who just killed Ravine with Nynaeve's help in Camelin, sort of in the dream world.
Yeah.
And now he has just decided that all men who can channel are safe from
Yes.
the Aes Sedai.
Yes. Well, yeah. Based
And-
on what he says.
Based on what he says, and he also used a shit ton of balefire, which is important for, like, the first couple pages in our next book.
Totally. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
What about the biggest thing possible? Asmodean died. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's like you don't even care
Oh,
about him. I
Asmodean
can't
did
believe
die.
that. I can't believe you did
That
that.
did happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And let me just tell you, in case you missed it, at the end of the last book, I thought maybe Pat and Fane, and I didn't really have any basis for that
Sure.
at all.
Yeah.
And then since then, in this month, we've been talking about it on, Dusty Wheel and whatever, in bonus episodes, Q&As. I have now been a little bit speculating that it might be Avienda.
Yeah, you did come up with that. I like that.
I came up with Avienda.
It's some pretty good justification.
Yeah.
Yep. Mostly because, like, Asmodean and Rand weren't being careful talking about stuff. I mean, she's obviously been very close. So it's a definite possibility that she could have, like, heard, figured out. Plus the fact that Moraine 100% knew
Oh, yes.
that Asmodean was who he was.
That's right.
So,
Okay.
okay.
Now, I am ready to get into this.
All right.
Do you want to talk about the little thing that is very easily missed in front of the map?
Oh, yeah, that little opening chant.
It's a weird thing.
I love it. It's so good. So first off, it's from a children's game heard in Great Arvalin, right? Tell me what that is.
Tarvalin.
Tarvalin in the 4th Age, that being the age after this current age.
Okay.
So we kind of get that. We've gotten lots of 4th Age stuff, so we don't really know how that works or what that means, but you can see the language of Tarvalin becoming Great Arvalin, right? Or Avalon, that's what the reference is there. So, Cool. So, it goes. The lions sing and the hills take flight, the moon by day and the sun by night. Blind woman, deaf man, jackdaw fool, let the Lord of Chaos rule.
So weird children's game, man.
It's a pretty good one. We love those. It's kind of like Ring Around the Rosie, right?
Okay, I was going to speculate that Rand is, in fact, the Lord of Chaos.
Well, I was going to ask, like, who do you think is the Lord of Chaos and why? So if you're going to say Rand, you got to give me some justification for that.
Well, he certainly is making a big stir in the world.
Sure.
Creating some chaos, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. All right.
Or, like, the Dark One. One or the other.
I mean, we get a few references to, like, other new names and titles and things of that nature this chapter, so you might have to put some more thought into it than just, like...
I'm okay with my prediction.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't...
I'm cool. I'm cool with my gut check on that. I don't really
that was like my first question. Like, who is it?
Put more thought into that. I think that's just about enough.
It's good enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We're going to enter in a new perspective of a new person we have yet to meet.
Yes.
It's a Forsaken.
It is.
And it's Demandred.
Yeah, Demandred.
Okay.
So this is an interesting start.
Okay. Before we get into this, can I see if I can remember all of the Forsaken?
Oh my god.
And who's dead and who's alive?
You know what? Sure, let's do this.
Okay.
Did you, like, take notes, or are you just winging this?
No, I'm just winging it.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Start at the beginning, like...
Samael, Baalzamon.
Those are two different...
Ishmael.
There you go, okay.
Oh shoot. I already messed up.
I was like, are you starting at the beginning of the book? Like, go eye the world.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. So Baalzamon / Ishmael.
Okay, that's one.
That's one.
And current status?
Dead.
Yeah. Okay, who's next?
Lanfear.
Okay.
Gone.
Gone, not dead?
Not dead. No way.
So, okay,
no way, how.
I just need one clarification. When you say gone, not dead,
Back.
Is she coming back? That's the question.
Oh, yeah.
Because what's the difference between gone and not coming back and dead?
Nothing.
Okay. So gone, coming back at some point.
Yes.
Soon or not soon?
Not soon.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Like several books?
Yeah.
Okay.
If the Tom disappearance is any indicator from book 2 and we don't see him till... Or that was book 1, right?
Yeah, that was book 1.
That was book 1.
Yeah.
And then we don't see him again till like book 2 or book 3?
Yeah, it was like a while.
In book 3. So... If that's any indicator of what we have in store for Lanfear and Moraine and their return, it's going to be a while.
No, didn't Tom come back in book 2 in The Great Hunt? Oh my goodness. We don't have time. Okay.
The Great Hunt was Kyrian.
Yeah, so it was like a book. So you're thinking like next book, Lanfear's back, maybe?
No.
2? Okay.
2 or 3.
2 or 3 books, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Sorry. Okay.
All right.
You've got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, who else?
All right, and then let me think who was in the Alliance.
Think about, let's start at Eye of the World. We had 2 who died in Eye of the World.
Oh, Balthamel.
Balthamel, yeah.
Aegonor.
And Aegonor. Okay, both dead.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Good. Okay, I forgot about those guys.
Yeah, totally.
And then now Alliance.
Think about the Dragon Reborn.
No, I'm going to think about the Alliance.
Okay.
What was in the Dragon Reborn?
Well, another one died.
Balal.
There we go. Okay, good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then
now you
Alliance.
can think the Alliance. Okay.
Grandel, alive.
Okay.
Ravine,
yeah.
Dead.
Okay.
Samuel, alive.
Okay.
That we know of.
And in?
Ilion.
Awesome, okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then Asmodean.
Okay. Wasn't in the Alliance, but...
Nope, dead.
Dead, okay. And then one more.
I already said Lanfear.
Yeah, wasn't there one more in that Alliance?
No. 4-person alliance, and then Mogedion spied on them, and Mogedion's alive.
Oh, yeah, okay, alive. And then who else are you missing here?
One more. Demandred.
Well, you have 10 fingers up.
Yeah, and then Demandred.
How many Forsaken are there?
Are there 11?
No, there's 13.
Oh. Semiraj.
Semirog, yeah. Semirog. Okay. I don't think you said Grendel.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
She's
okay,
in the
I
alliance.
wasn't listening.
Yeah,
okay.
I know you weren't.
Okay, and then one left. We've only got like a partial introduction to her.
Oh, her.
Yeah.
I don't think that matters.
Yeah, it doesn't help you.
Okay, tell me. I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, so we got this from technically glossary. We've done the definition of it. Messaana.
What the hell?
Or Messana.
There's no way I've heard that name before.
Yeah, we did a glossary thing about it. I was just
did
double
not
checking.
commit that one to memory at all.
Yeah.
Messaana?
Or Messana.
Messana.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so the reason why we did that one is it was in the glossary and the names are all listed there and they have been for a few books.
Okay.
But we haven't gotten like her as a character.
Okay, I forgot to keep track of who's alive and who's dead. I think we have more dead than alive.
Yeah, it's not looking so good. I don't think it's more dead. Okay. 6 dead, and the dead ones are Aegonor, Asmodean, Balthamel, Balal, Ishamael, and then Ravine. That's 6 dead. Lanfear is gone. Yeah, and then
6 dead, 1 gone,
and then 6 still alive.
6 still alive
and around. So we
right.
have.
But Mogedion's like captured.
So that doesn't.
So
okay, so
she's
we've got,
alive, but like she's not really doing her best for the Dark One.
She could be doing better. So we've got Demandred, we've got Grendel, we've got Messana, we've got Samael, Semirog, and Mogedion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
We did it.
All right.
That's quite the count.
Do you want to start this book now? It's only been 20 minutes.
Now we can start the book officially. Okay. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of things.
There's a lot. It's all
There's
good.
a reason we split this into 2 parts.
I know. This is good, though.
Okay.
So, Demandred steps out of a gateway.
You forgot the chapter symbol.
Is it the Wheel of Time Snake?
It's the wheel and snake, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we got to get it on the record here.
Okay. Now Demandred steps out of a gateway onto the slopes of Shayol Ghul, and it is a very scary scene, but one we have seen before.
You remember, where do we see it?
Dreams.
Yes, we saw it specifically in Eye of the World, Chapter 9.
Ooh.
Wow. And if you remember, Rand was like, I know this place.
And we've seen it like other times, too.
Yes, but specifically, that was the first time, and Rand was thinking, I've been here before, I know this place.
Ooh.
Right? That was way before the whole, like, LTT stuff, yeah.
Although, was it?
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, so we got the lightning going up, weather's bad.
Spooky steam vent stuff.
It's bad, yeah. So, Demandred lets go of Sidene because, quote, only a fool would appear ready to channel here.
Yeah, this is like the Dark One's home, and you don't do that here, apparently.
Don't do it.
It's not good. And we also find out what the rest of the world is north of here. Because he's in Shayol Ghul, he's like north of the map, he's top level there.
Yeah.
And then he thinks that everything north, like a few hundred leagues north of here, the world is pure ice. So if you're wondering what's
polar
above
ice
there,
caps.
polar ice cap is just like the whole world's ice.
But you know what? If the Dark One doesn't let up this very hot, dry summer, those polar ice caps are gonna start melting.
Yeah. Say goodbye to the coastal towns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could say goodbye to a few of those. They're kind of garbage right now.
Yeah, okay.
Specifically Tenjigo. All right, sorry. Okay.
Okay.
Now we get a description of this place as Demandred is heading off because there is a river, which is going to be important soon because it's not like really water.
It's like poison, murky, black water. That's like you don't swim in it.
Don't
do it.
Don't do it. Yeah. So there's a ringing of hammers like a forge, and this is Thakendar.
Yeah, the Valley of Thakendar.
So here we are.
Yes.
And now there's just some random woman with a baby here.
It's not it's a prisoner.
It's a prisoner.
Someone who's been taken.
It seemed random.
Okay.
Maybe that's what I mean by that.
Okay.
But it was unexpected to see, like, humans here.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I get that.
So
is it more unexpected what happens to them very
No,
shortly?
that's more expected. Like, if there's humans here, I expected that they're going to be used to...
like blood sacrifice ritual stuff for making swords.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, because then this forger comes out, but we get that this guy isn't actually living because if he leaves Ghul, he'll just turn to stone or dust.
Yeah, it's some sort of like automaton style.
I don't know what that means.
Like a creation, not robot, but like automated being. It's not alive. It's not a human.
Okay,
it's not like
it reminds me of like the servers at the Dark Friend Social.
Okay.
Similar to like Not Alive.
Okay, that was more like people who had their souls sucked out or something.
Right. And this is not that?
It doesn't seem because those people, like the servers, weren't like turning to dust if they went too far from Ghul.
But they might. I don't know. I'm trying to make a connection here.
Okay, not the same.
Okay.
Different. Just think like totally separate, robotic
no,
creation.
I'm not picturing this guy as a robot.
Not robot. I didn't say robot. It's like, automaton. Okay.
I don't know what that is.
It does. Okay, then it's not going to help. Okay.
There's no way this guy's.
It's not a server. It's not a server. It's not a.
I would rather picture it as some guy who has his soul sucked out.
You know what?
Than a robot.
I didn't say a robot. Okay, whatever. You think whatever you want to. He's just turning to dust.
Whatever. This guy's just making the Thakendar blades.
And he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
They're all very mean people. Non-people people. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so then a voice addresses Demandred and says, "Do you loiter when you've been summoned by the Great Lord?" And then Demandred turns and sees a Fade, and at first he's like, "Effing Fade, how dare you talk to me like that?" But then he realizes that this is not a normal Fade.
This is a big one.
This is a big Fade.
And he's got a name.
Yes, he does.
And it doesn't seem like that's a thing that usually happens, at least not with, like, old tongue words.
Right, Shaidar Haran.
Yeah, you got it. Nailed it.
That's the guy's name.
Yeah.
All right.
So, it means something. It means Hand of the Dark.
Ooh. So he's like, Hand of the Dark.
Well, think of like Hand of the King, right? Game of Thrones style. But like this is a, top level dude here.
Very.
Like, and it's a Fade, which is the interesting part. And Demandred like thinks about that quite a bit. Mm-hmm. The fact that it's a Fade, it's a Murdral who's the Hand of the Dark.
It's clearly one who's been made
and like,
for this purpose.
And like elevated to a status that clearly nobody else is. If he's even, from the vibe we get, he even stands above at least the Forsaken on some level.
Right. And then we get that some spiky things from the ceiling are now taller so that the tall Fade doesn't hit his head on them.
Yes.
Right?
And again,
that's what that was. Did I read that right?
You did read that right. Because it's the unnaturalness of this place. So they are walking into a very spooky place. And Demandred's like, it's not that the size of the tunnel has changed size. That's not the weird part. The weird part is that there's a level of respect that's given to this Fade, because usually when I come here, the roof's like scraping my head.
Yes.
And with this Fade, he's getting like extra room. He's getting some like foot space, some leg room here.
Okay.
Yeah. So like what's actually going on? So that's why he thinks to himself, I got to remember this because something's going on here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the tunnel opens up into this wide ledge overlooking a lake of lava.
Yeah.
I know, I've never seen that before.
No, this is brand new information.
Brand new information. So now there's no room.
Yes.
And there's a hole going up through the mountain. I just can't picture this at all. I have no idea what this is.
Think volcano. Lake of
like
fire.
Inside a volcano that you can like look up.
And usually you would see the sky
Yeah.
like going up, but this is the interesting stuff. It's not the sky of Thakandar. It's like a different sky.
So where are
This
they?
is a spooky, unnatural place, and this is where we get the part where Demandred notes that he can sense the boar here.
Yeah.
And that's obviously the hole being drilled into Dark One's prison, but physically this place isn't closer to the boar, right, than any other place in the world. It's just like metaphysically there's a thinness in the pattern.
Right, and this place is the Pit of Doom?
This is literally the Pit of Doom in Shayol Ghul, like big spooky mountain, volcano, whatever enemy layer you want to think.
Okay.
And crazy, sky. This is where the Dark One lives.
Okay.
This is his house.
This is where he is.
And he's coming in here.
Metaphysically.
Yes.
Sure.
Like on a spiritual level, there's a thinness in the pattern.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I buy it. So now Demandred tells the Fade, go now, because I don't want you to witness this.
Yes.
And the guy does not move.
He does not, yeah.
No, you don't tell him what to do.
Nope.
Lowly Forsaken.
Yeah, this is the Hand of the Dark.
Yeah. So now Demandred is about to say something else, and then a voice explodes in his head.
Yeah.
And it's the Dark One.
You know what's funny? This scene with Demandred is like the shortest scene, but there's like the most to say.
There's so much to go through.
It's all new
it's
information.
All brand new. That's right.
There's a lot of stuff we're going to kind of...
Which I'm cool with because you know how I feel about recap for the sake of recap.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of that. So let's keep on with the new stuff. I just want to
I know.
If you're wondering why I want to talk so much about Demandred.
I want to talk about it too. No, it's all good. So... the Dark One, who apparently can just talk.
Here at the Pit of Doom, where there's the thinness in the pattern.
Got it.
And just to kind of keep in mind, too, we did just hear that when Demandred was let go, was freed, a year ago or whatever it was, when they all kind of got out, right? The boar is still blocked, but now there's, a bigger hole than when he woke up about a year ago.
Okay.
Right? But it's not as big as during the War of Power, what broke the world.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So
which did have something to do with Lanfear? Right?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Lanfear,
she was one of the two people who drilled into this new power source, and it's
when she had a different name.
Yeah,
and served Rand's ancestors.
Exactly.
Right?
You got the gist of it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
This is why you don't drill into unknown power sources. That's why.
That's why.
Okay, figured it out.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. Okay.
Unless that was her plan.
Dark
One says,
okay.
Demandred, how fares this world?
Yes.
And then Demandred tells him that Ravine is dead as of yesterday.
Yep.
Lanfear has vanished without a trace, same as Asmodean.
Yep.
And Grandal says that Moghedien failed to meet her yesterday.
Yes.
And then the Dark One goes on this rant about how the Chosen are dwindling because the weak fall away.
Yeah, so let's pause here because there's a couple things we got to talk about.
Yes.
First of all, did you note how the Dark One talks?
Loud in his head.
Loud in his head and with all capitalization.
Yeah.
We have seen something similar before.
In dreams, maybe?
Nope. In the Eye of the World.
In the Eye of the World.
Yep. So if you remember, at the very end of the Eye of the World, Rand went on that huge mission to go save Tarwin's Gap.
Uh-huh.
And during that fight, he was shouting at Baalzamon, this has to end. So Rand's shouting that.
Oh, and then he heard a voice as if from nowhere.
Yeah, so then that's when he destroys, the Legion of the Trollocs with his fists and all that stuff. And, basically saves everybody and saves the world for the first time. And then the voice says in all capitalization, but it's also in italics. And the voice says, it is not here. I will take no part. Only the Chosen One can do what must be done if he will. And then Rand shouts, where? And the voice says, not here. So that's the only other time we've really gotten anything remotely similar to a voice shouting in someone's head, but it was a little bit different. But it's very similar. And I asked you back in Eye of the World, who said that?
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of speculation on who said that.
I'm sure I had no clue.
Yeah.
I still don't. So.
Okay. Well, if this is the Dark One.
I don't know.
Okay.
That didn't really sound I thought what you were going to say would be different. That didn't sound very Dark One-y to me.
No, it didn't.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, it's the whole conversation of there's a Dark One, but there's also a creator.
Oh.
there's the two sides of the coin. We know about the creator, and we know about the pattern, we know about the Dark One.
Okay, I feel you.
So it's like, okay, if we go back and read Out of the World, are you going to start thinking, hey, was that the creator talking to Rand? Like, hey, this isn't where the last battle takes place. This isn't the place. It's not here. You can't fight Ba'alzamon right here, right now.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. So, I mean...
I still have no idea really what you're talking about.
Things to think about, and you can go back and read.
No.
You have to. Okay.
All right, so this is where the Dark One says that Asmodean was twisted by his weakness and Ravine is dead by his pride.
Yes, and he also says that...
I cannot save him from balefire.
Well, before that.
Oh.
Yeah, he says, who betrays me shall die the final death.
Got it.
Yeah, so like super dead, and that we can presume is Asmodean because he betrayed him.
Yes.
And that's also important because Demandred's like he's shocked by sometimes the thing that the Dark One doesn't actually know.
And then the things that he does know.
What he does know, it's like, how does he know certain things?
Yeah.
It's a good question. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it seems like Asmodean has died the final death. Even the Dark One can't save him from balefire.
Well, no, Ravine died of balefire.
Oh, yeah. So even I can't save him from balefire. There you go.
That's who he's talking about, Ravine, not Asmodean.
Yeah,
That's not confirmation that Asmodean died of balefire.
No. That was just me misreading there. So, and then he says, even I can't step outside of time.
Right.
So that's super important.
And he also says, done by my ancient enemy, the one called Dragon.
Yes.
Which is interesting because I didn't know that before Lews Therin, he was always called Dragon.
Yeah, that's kind of like confirmation from the Dark One that like that's the name. That's the guy's name. He's Dragon. So yeah.
All right.
So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
All right. And then he asked Demandred, would you unleash balefire in my service? And then we get a little bit of a recap about what balefire is and the history of it.
But there's some important differences.
Yeah.
Because this is like pretty much the first time we really get it from a Forsaken perspective.
Yes.
Like we've heard it from the good guys being like, hey, we all kind of just agreed that we're going to stop doing it because it's really bad.
Right. And no one knows how to do it anymore anyway.
Yeah. But, like, the Forsaken definitely do, because, like, why would they not know? But it's from a Forsaken point of view that reality itself almost unraveled, so we stopped doing it, because if it happens on that scale again, as, like, us destroying entire cities, reality itself, there's, like, the universe is going to be gone. Right. So that sounds bad. Because the Dark One does want to rule a universe.
Right.
He doesn't want to rule
Even
nothing.
If he wants to break the wheel and have the whole world be in shadow.
He still wants to have some stuff here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Demandred says, yeah, okay, I'll do it. But, like, he really doesn't want to. And he's already formulating a plan for how he's going to just, like, stab Rand or something.
Totally.
And not have to use balefire.
Yeah, it doesn't want to. It's just so interesting that even the Forsaken are on that same page. Like, don't do this thing.
Yeah. And then Demandred says, Great Lord, the dragon can be destroyed. He's weak and ignorant.
Yes.
And then the Dark One says, would you be nameless?
Yeah, okay. That's new.
It is new, which is something important, question mark?
It is, because it sounds like it's Olton. So, nameless means the one who would stand only a step below the Great Lord commanding all others. Like, that's the title. Like, that's what it is. So, when we're looking at the nameless, that'd be like the person assistant to the Dark One.
Got it.
And it's like everybody else is below that person. So, when the Dark One's like, hey, you want to be this guy?
Demandred's like, yeah, man.
Well, he's like, oh, no, I totally just want to do whatever you want me to do.
I only wish to serve. That's it.
But it's like,
that's it.
For sure.
But even like lowly, regular old Dark friends think that they're going to get this position.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's kind of the thing. But we do know now that there is like a position available.
And it's well, whether it's available is yet to be determined.
Sure, okay.
Because it seems like this is kind of dangled like a carrot.
A little bit. And it's like maybe
this actually exists.
this whole Shadow Haran, the Hand of the Dark, maybe he's like, is that his position, or is it like
seems that way, but like maybe not.
Left hand, right hand situation where it's like this is the right hand of
because it doesn't really seem like this giant Fade rules.
Yeah, he's just like
he's kind of like he's the assistant too, whereas Nameless is just the assistant Dark One.
Gotcha. I like that. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
And until there's an assistant Dark One, the assistant too,
the Dark One sort of like runs his errands.
Yeah, totally.
Gets his dry cleaning.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now the Dark One says, listen and serve, hear who will die and who will live, and then that's the end of this sequence.
Yeah, so, okay, we got a whole bunch of, like, new information. So, I think the coolest part that I like to take out of this one is all the stuff about the Dark One can't bring back people who have been killed by balefire for what it seems.
No.
Because we've gotten a bunch of times that the Dark One likes to dangle immortality in front of people.
Yes.
But Ravine is like gone because even he can't.
He ceases to exist.
Gone. And if you think about how balefire works, it's the burning back in time.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like the Dark One basically it's like since it goes back in time, then he can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Okay.
Just like store it all away in your brain.
It's all there,
We'll come back to it later.
Who knows? I didn't think I knew how balefire worked, and then I totally got it.
Nailed it.
I nailed it. That was like the best prediction I've ever made.
Yeah.
Next to this next one that's coming up.
Okay, go.
Ready? Are you ready for this? All right. So, do you like that segue? It's almost like I'm a professional.
Almost, but like totally not. But, that's okay.
So, perspective change to Nynaeve, with her being back in Salidar.
Yes.
It seems like not much time has passed since the end of Fires of Heaven.
I mean, some.
But not much.
Yeah. Like enough for them to like start doing stuff. Like there's a bit of time.
Okay.
They've discovered a bunch of weaves and things and all that.
Things. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like gotta be a little bit of time.
Some time has passed. She's
Yeah.
currently doing her studying of Swan and Lyanna with this whole like stilling situation.
Yep.
It's also super hot and everyone is sweaty and grumpy, and
Yeah.
this is that whole like Dark One should probably stop burning up the world.
Yeah, so like if you didn't pick it up yet in these like perspectives, the world is very hot.
Everywhere, even though it's not supposed to be.
It's hot. It's
it
very
reminds
hot.
me of the Eye of the World when everything was cold when it wasn't supposed to be.
He's messing with the weather.
Messing with it.
Yeah, so like that's the thing. Nynaeve is back to wearing the accepted dress, but she totally wants to be in silk, but she won't admit it to anybody else.
And she wants it either in blue or green because that's what Lan likes.
Yeah, you remember
so
what
she
the last...
hasn't taken...
I was going to say, the last thing that Rand said to Nynaeve about Lan was that Rand said Lan told him to tell you that he's found somebody else and move on because, like, peace out.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's clearly, like, not...
How long is it going to take Lan to ride to Salidar?
Salidar.
Where are they?
Yeah, Salidar. Because that's where Morel is.
Yes.
And that's where they all are.
Yeah.
And is it going to be like a they just miss each other situation where she's like leaving for some reason?
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's pretty funny. But yeah.
Anyway,
it doesn't sound like she's given up on it.
Thinks that this is a lost cause, and they still promise to let Nynaeve do this, so they're just sitting
They're just suffering through it.
But Swan is just...
Yeah, Lyanna does sound like she is a little bit more on board with the whole,
a little more hopeful.
Yeah, a little hopeful, but Swan is, no. She's done with it, so...
Because then we get that Nynaeve actually isn't the one who's doing this channeling herself.
Yes.
She's not angry enough to channel right now, so like that's still a block that she has.
Yeah, that's not fixed.
But we get that she is wearing a nice silver bracelet on her wrist, which is attached to a certain woman sitting in the corner wearing a matching necklace around her neck.
And we get that reveal shortly, not yet though. Just
right away though, it's clearly Mogedian.
It is.
Right away we're like, oh, this is still happening.
But it's like, oh my god, which one is it? Because that was the big cliffhanger we were left on. If people forget, is that she gave her the fork root in the dream and was like, hey, you know too much. You're back in Salidar. I'll see you in a bit.
That's right.
I mean, that was and now clearly she woke up. They found the right woman who's
and here she is, and they've created this Adam.
Elayne made an Adam.
Yes.
It's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Do I love the application?
Yeah, I mean,
I get that it's a Forsaken, but does that really make, like, enslaving her and keeping her captive okay?
How is it different than the Asmodean and Rand situation?
It's not.
Okay, but, like...
I mean, I guess...
You seem to be on board with the Asmodean thing.
So here's the thing about Asmodean is there were chances for him to, like, leave.
Okay.
I mean, I know Rand threatened him and stuff and kind of locked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not good either.
He wasn't there, but I mean, you were a lot more on board with... I'm 100% on board with, like, let's capture a Forsaken and learn from her. No mercy.
I don't know. Even Asmodean, though, seemed... Even when he was talking, it seemed more willing.
Sure.
Because this whole wearing the Adam thing makes it like...
You like that
worse.
Less. It's on a level, it's a degree worse.
It's like a degree worse.
Okay.
But you're right, that also wasn't good.
I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, whatever we want to talk about. I'm impressed by Elayne and her abilities to like do stuff. Yeah.
It's impressive.
And we get that Nynaeve is trying to explain basically to us, the reader, what Elayne was talking about, and she's got no freaking clue.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I have no idea how this even works. So,
yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the, Nynaeve situation.
Right, okay, so she's examining this stilling situation and then says out loud, there's definitely something torn or cut. And then the woman wearing the necklace says, severing. That's what it was called anyway.
Yes.
And everyone in the room turns to stare at the woman.
It's like, drum roll.
And then Nynaeve says, if you have something useful to add, Merrigan, then say it. And if not, keep quiet.
Boom. It's Merrigan. It was Merrigan.
It's Merrigan.
Now, Merrigan all along.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I didn't remember the names of the women on the boat.
Fair.
So at this point, with this reveal, I didn't know if this was the name of like an Aes Sedai.
Oh my god!
Like, at this very moment, reading, I had to stop
and be like, "Oh my god, who's Merrigan?"
Yeah, I went back to Fires of Heaven.
Okay.
And here I have it here.
Yeah,
because I just have to be.
There's so much.
I just have to be like, I'm right. Because this is excellent. And I also went back to our Fires of Heaven, our last episode, where I predicted this.
Sure.
In case anybody is skeptical about whether or not I said this.
It's on a podcast recording.
It's on it, and I'm going to plug it in right away.
Awesome.
But first, we get that Nynaeve is into helping these three women.
Yep.
The first is Nicola.
Yep.
And then the second is Merrigan.
Yeah.
And this is the one who has 2 kids.
Yeah.
See, I don't think I predicted that one.
No.
But because that's wild. But like, good disguise.
And it gets worse about the kid situation. Yeah, it's so bad.
But it says Merrigan, a few years older, had been plump once, but her frayed brown dress hung on her loosely now, and her blunt face looked beyond wary. Her 2 sons, 6 and 7, stared silently at the world with 2 big eyes.
Yes.
Clinging to each other, they seemed frightened of everything and everyone else, even their own mother.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I read those lines out loud because, like, obviously knowing that Merrigan is Moghedien from the beginning, it makes the whole kid situation so bad. It's like, oh my god. Yeah, she says they were orphans and she just picked them up. And she says that,
like,
hey...
maybe, but, like, to get them to go with her...
the fact that they don't say anything like, hey, I don't know this lady, she's not my mother. You think that there's zero compulsion or anything going on here with these kids?
No, I never said that.
I know, but Elayne seems to think so. In the next perspective, we kind of get that. It's like, what did Moghedien actually do to these 2 kids? Like, it's just so... know. Yeah, I mean, she's Forsaken, right?
Okay, but I'm specifically going to leave this spot right here to listen to my prediction because I love being right that much.
Awesome. No, I like it. Okay, who is it?
That is way better than the end I thought it was.
Who is it?
An Aes Sedai? Or just like a random... Oh! Is it one of the ladies from the boat?
Interesting. Okay, go on. I like this.
Yeah. I want it to be one of the ladies from the boat.
Okay.
That, like, Nynaeve had an affinity for... You know?
Okay, no, I get that. I get that.
Who followed them all the way there?
Yeah, no, the only thing I'll say to that is we did get that viewing from Min saying, oh, they're gonna be trouble, but like a Forsaken, and you get nothing but they're gonna be trouble.
And I mean...
It's a little bit weak.
Not really, because Moghedien probably used a little bit of compulsion to make sure they were allowed to come along with them. Because the whole thing was fishy.
Well, like all 3 of them now are like...
No, I think that was just like an accident. The other 2. Whoever she is, she's definitely one of those ladies.
You locked on? It's not definitely. Like an Aes Sedai or an accepted?
Nope.
It's not Elayne?
Nope. There. See?
Amazing. Wonderful. Okay.
You must have been like, wow, you're great.
I was too busy probably trying to throw you off.
Probably. You're like, oh shit, another one that she gets completely right?
Okay.
Love it so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you were skeptical from the beginning about all of them. You're like, this is bad. This is a bad idea.
Yes. I was like, none of these should go.
Yeah.
From the beginning. And then at the very end, clearly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. So we get this whole little bit because we get a bit of like almost a monologue about like Nynaeve recalling what Moghedien has talked about with with healing and channeling and all this stuff, and like the stilling and the severing and all this stuff. But I gotta dive and get a little bit of important information out of it for you. Okay? So Merrigan, or Moghedien, says that severing can't be healed, and that's from the Age of Legends, like someone who's there. Yes, she might be lying, but she says that anything except death could be healed in the Age of Legends. And what the Yellow Aja calls healing now is basically the crudest, hasty battlefield work. So healing in this age is like the crude battlefield stuff compared to Age of Legends. That's probably why everybody's
like, oh my god, when they get healed. And I'm
going to quiz you. Okay. I'm going to quiz you here to see what you've picked up. And I'm going to Okay, because I've been like pointing this out a little bit at a time over the past like 6 books here. So here we go. We have seen the weaves for how people heal.
Yeah.
So, what are the weaves required with healing?
Spirit, water, air.
Okay. Spirit, water, air.
Mm-hmm.
What are the weaves that Nynaeve uses for healing?
I don't know. The same ones?
No.
Spirit, water, fire?
No. She uses all of them.
All 5.
Nynaeve uses all 5 of the powers for her healing. And we know she's like the most powerful channeler,
who's
basically.
Like doing it on instinct by accident.
Exactly. Yeah. So she does everything. Now, what happens to people who are healed? What are like the reactions?
They like convulse.
Convulsion, yep.
Gasp.
Yeah,
like,
they gasp.
They're shocked.
What happens afterwards?
Tired.
They're exhausted.
Hungry.
They're hungry. They have to like take days of bed rest sometimes.
Because you have to take some of their energy to do the healing.
Now, who have we seen Nynaeve heal over the course of these books? We've seen her heal Rand. We've seen her heal like villagers, all the refugees, the soldiers on the boats, and we don't have a bunch of like people gasping and a bunch of people who are like hungry and exhausted and tired. So it's like the battlefield form that the Aes Sedai use, which we know are just spirit, air, and water, seems to be the crude battlefield method. And we know that Nynaeve is using all of them, and she seems a little bit better.
A little bit.
So something to keep in mind for as we progress into like this whole healing situation.
Okay.
All
right. Sounds good. So, Nynaeve isn't giving up on studying Siuan and Lyanna just yet.
Yes.
She tells Siuan to put on the Adam bracelet. And Siuan pushes back and says, why? It won't work. I can't channel anyway. And then she ends up putting it on. Now, Siuan can feel Moghedien's emotion through the bracelet, which shouldn't be able to happen, but she can't touch the source through Moghedien.
Yes. So this is really important too.
Yeah, this confirms in Nynaeve's head that there is something to be healed. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to feel anything through the bracelet.
Yeah, and this is pretty big. If it's true, if Nynaeve is correct in that thinking that since they can feel her still, there's something left over.
Yeah.
But that it's still a big if.
Yeah.
Like,
and
if
now
it's true.
Lyanna gets a turn and the same thing happens.
Yeah.
But I have an important note.
Okay, what?
Lyanna watches carefully as Nynaeve opens the bracelet. Now, I can't predict or think about anything nefarious or sneaky or underhanded that Lyanna might do right now.
Okay.
But I'm tucking that information away for later that Lyanna can probably
do that.
Open this bracelet.
Open it. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know what she would do with it or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
But
that's the whole thing about the Adam like bracelet and collar is like, no, unless you know how to do it, you're not going to figure it out.
Exactly, because there's no clasp. Yeah. And so the fact that there's a very specific sentence about how Lyanna watches carefully.
Yep.
I'm tucking that away for later.
Suspicious.
I picked it up.
Sort of, okay.
So the door bangs open and everyone jumps up and they're like, oh my god. Because they think they're caught.
Well, and it's the whole, like, nobody knows that this is actually Moghedien and we have trapped and are using her to, like, fuel our research.
And also, Nynaeve is doing this secretly.
It's all, so.
But it's just Elayne. Brigida's still outside, keeping watch, and so we get that Elayne is not happy.
Yeah, she's very perturbed.
That's a good way to put it, because the Salidar Aes Sedai are sending an embassy to Caemlyn to meet Rand, and they're refusing to let Elayne go.
Yes, okay.
Sheriam even forbade her from mentioning it again or speaking of it, and Siuan says, why would they let the Dragon Reborn get his hands on the daughter heir, especially with poor Gay's dead now?
Yeah, that sets off the whole thing about like what they know and don't know. The beginning of this book is kind of like filling us in on who knows what information now.
Exactly.
Right? So now they know that for sure Morgase is like missing, presumed dead. Everyone assumes she is. Elayne doesn't think that she is dead. She's definitely not accepting that Rand killed her. But like Elayne,
Elayne is not even accepting that she's dead.
She's dead. It's just like, no. And that's where we get the whole, if Morgase was even remotely alive, we would have heard something, or we would have heard a rebellion, or like her fighting back.
Because Swan and Lyanna have the eyes and ears everywhere, and blah, blah, blah.
And we know the situation, but even this whole, like, the rebellion in the West, we know that's Perrin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So, I mean, it's all, it's bad news for Elayne. So
yeah, it's not good. I feel kind of bad for her, and I do have to say that this kind of recap I like. I'm good with it. Yeah. And then we also get a little bit about how Elayne really does want to go to Caemlyn. Her place is there. She's daughter heir.
Yeah.
But the Aes Sedai are not going to let her go as an accepted to be the queen of Caemlyn as an accepted.
Yeah, it's like they're going to graduate you
to full Aes Sedai, and then she can be queen.
Yeah, they are 100% on board with you becoming queen, and they will do everything in their power to help out with that. But first, they want you to be Aes Sedai so they can get an Aes Sedai on a throne.
Mm-hmm. And at some point, Nynaeve has a snarky thought about how all Elayne wants to do is get Rand alone so she can kiss him within an inch of his life.
And it gets funnier.
Yeah.
Well, in the next perspective. I think it's so funny. But, okay. Yeah. Well, again, it's the whole Nynaeve and Elayne aren't getting along necessarily very well.
No.
So, yeah. I get it.
Now, these women have also heard the news about Rand's, quote, amnesty of men who can channel.
Yes, and that's, again, important to know that now people know about it, so the word is getting out.
That's right.
So, because we left it on the whole fact that he didn't want to announce it yet.
Yeah.
But then he did, and now it's like, they heard it here, so clearly that news is getting around. I have an important question about this, though.
Okay, right now?
Yeah, about this amnesty. Because Nynaeve specifically thinks there's not going to be very many men because, like, the Aes Sedai are hunting them.
Is that what you're going to ask me?
Yeah, so, I mean, like, what's the reality? What do you realistically think for, men who can channel coming to Rand? Or is it going to be, like, there's, like, 3 of them? Or is there, like, a decent amount? Or are there, like, thousands that he's going to gain?
I do think that there are going to be more than a lot. I think that...
More than a lot?
Yeah, I think that it's not going to be, like, dwindly numbers.
It's not like, there's a dozen people.
Here's the but.
Okay.
I don't know how many of these men are going to trust that this is real. It might be... They might think, like, this is a trap. Like, especially somebody like a Taim.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Okay.
Who might think... Oh,
you're trying to lure me in.
This is clearly a trap set by the Aes Sedai.
Okay.
If Rand is, like, being controlled by Aes Sedai.
Fair, because it's the whole Aes Sedai control the world.
Like, there's no way that Taim is just going to be like, cool, man, let's start a club.
I'll join. I'll join your chess club.
Oh, here I am. Hi. Like, he's not just... He's on the run, and he's Steve.
Yeah, they can have, like, little name tags and be like,
yeah.
Hi, I'm Taim.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
I'm Mazrim Taim, and I can channel.
So more than a lot, but it's gonna be like a slow thing
trickle.
because they have to, like, gain trust and, like.
I don't think a bunch of them are just gonna be all showing up. I can channel me.
Yeah.
Help me.
Okay.
Like, it's because of just the state of the world.
Sure.
There's no way.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's like the idea is out there in the universe. Okay. Well, let's continue.
It's out there.
Okay.
And reports are coming in that Rand is trying to gather others like him.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see how that goes. My instinct is, like, not well.
It's gonna go
initially.
medium. It's.
I don't think it's gonna go well initially.
Solid 6 out of 10 effort. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, Elayne isn't done arguing about whether or not she should be allowed to go with this embassy.
Oh, yeah. She keeps, like...
She has good reasons. I'm actually on her side.
She's got medium reasons.
But they don't understand that Rand...
They don't know the relationship.
The
Aes Sedai don't know the relationship between Elayne and Rand. It's like, hey, it's not like Elayne has told them, from what we can tell... Oh, I was making out with Rand in Tyr, like, a couple months ago.
Yeah, and we're, like, gonna get married.
Yeah, and, like, we're totally very close to banging.
Yes.
Okay. Like, right there.
Almost.
Right there.
All she needs is an igloo.
Just like, oh, okay, so close, so close.
So close. Anyway, one, because if Morgase is missing, the daughter heir should be there to assure Andor that the succession is intact.
Yeah.
Which I agree with.
To be like, hey, I'm the next one.
Because there's like a bunch of shit that's going on in Caemlyn anyway with Ravine and everything.
On the whole Kyrian situation with like civil war because houses are vying for power now. If Elayne is just gone and missing.
Yes.
Yikes.
Well, that happened in Caemlyn too before Morgase, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
okay. You remember stuff. You remember Andoran history. Oh my god.
I did.
I love that. That's
remembered.
So good. Okay.
All right, and the second reason is she can approach Rand because he trusts her.
Smoochy.
Yeah, that's that.
That's the information she has not officially declared, probably. I say probably because we don't know for sure.
Right. But now, Swan starts talking about how they can't afford to let Rand go off without any guidance at all, especially with Moiraine gone.
Yes.
So
she
knows about that.
Say what they say.
Dead.
She doesn't say now that Moiraine is gone.
Swan thinks Moiraine is dead.
It's dead now that she's dead.
Because who knows what he'll do.
dead. Okay, yeah, because, exactly.
Plus, the Hall isn't doing that well right now. Because half of the Hall secretly don't want anything to do with Rand. And now, is this the little tiny secret Hall in Salidar?
Yes.
Okay, that's what they're talking about.
That's what we're talking about here. It's the only real Hall of the Tower. Dani, come on. The other one's the fake one.
Uh-huh.
Remember?
Sure.
The ones who are in the White Tower?
Yeah.
Not the real Hall.
Well, they are the real Hall.
Nah,
this
not
is just
according
the
to these
rebellion.
people. Yeah, no, these are the
this
real
is the
ones.
rebellion.
The Salidar ones are the real ones.
Okay.
If you're gonna be on their side, you gotta be on their side.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, so some think they should just gentle the Dragon Reborn anyway.
Totally.
And then Nynaeve figures out that Swan and Lyanna have known for sure about this embassy setting out.
They're 100% pulling strings.
And she says, how many are they sending?
Yeah. Before we do the numbers here.
Oh, okay.
So Swan and Lyanna are currently running the Eisner's network for Salidar, and they clearly have influence. So it seems like the Hall of Salidar has like severely misjudged how manipulative these two can be.
Oh, but we saw that from the get-go.
We did.
Yes.
Especially since they're not officially Aes Sedai, so how, good can they actually be?
Right.
It's just,
That's
it's funny.
the elitist mentality. Yeah.
It's almost like implied that this whole embassy is Swan and Lyanna's idea.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of funny.
Okay. So we get that there are 9 going, enough to do honor to the Dragon Reborn, but not enough to frighten him. And then we get a recap about what 13 Aes Sedai mean to a man who can channel.
13 means you've got no chance. They're going to kidnap you and get you and then bring you to the tower and gentle you. Because that is how it works.
Because they can stop you from channeling?
Yeah,
they
exactly.
They create a link or something around you?
They link together and they create a shield. So we've heard it before. 13 can link together, and that's why the traditional amount that it takes to take a man and then bring him to the tower and gentle him is 13.
Okay.
Because you can't fight back with 13.
Right.
And then just to remember, so the Salidar Aes Sedai are sending their embassy to Caemlyn, and where is Elida's Aes Sedai sending their embassy?
Kyrian.
Yes.
Yeah, but we don't know if that's changed or shifted yet, because that was months ago.
That was, but those letters were I'm sending an embassy to come and, give you the honor that you deserve or something like that. So,
but if this is indeed a month or two,
sure,
we're unsure. They could have shifted their plans if they are aware
that he's in Caemlyn now?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be even more complicated because now it's not just 9 Aes Sedai who are coming. Now there's going to be 9 plus the White Tower's embassy. So now it's there's if they send the same amount.
already speculated it was going to be 13 anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the funny part is what's actually going to happen with both these embassies now coming.
Are they going to go to Kyrian? Are they going to go to Caemlyn? I guess we have to find out.
Are they both going to show up at the same place? So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Funny things to think about, and that's why the prologue is important because it sets up the story, right?
Well, the first chapter also could do that.
Exactly.
Oh, where I don't care anymore. I forgot. I don't care.
You just had to kind of throw that in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now Lyanna has to get some dig in here. I don't know what her problem is with Elayne, but this is mean.
She explains it.
I know, but it's mean.
But she does it on purpose.
I know. Oh. She does?
They explain it, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, what she says is, Min is going to Caemlyn with the embassy, her ... talents may be useful to Rand.
Yes.
And then this seems like a shot at Elayne.
Yeah.
And Elayne leaves.
Yes, and it is a shot because Lyanna and Swan, it's Swan who answers, and they're like, hey, if two women love the same man, it's best that they go solve that problem now and here before they go and see Rand.
Right.
So they're trying to make Elayne and Min pick a fight with each other to figure out the man situation before...
They've already figured out
Swan and
their
Lyanna don't know
situation.
everything.
Yeah.
They don't.
They don't.
Yeah, but that's like, it was an intentional dig. That was on purpose.
All right. Seal seems a little mean.
Yeah.
All right. So Swan and Lyanna now leave. They're like, there's nothing more we can do here. Maybe try Logain.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve's like, no, I hate that.
Yeah, and also it's like she can't, it's not going well.
No.
That's kind of the funny part is like she thinks like I'm learning less from him than from the women. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even want to be able to heal that.
She doesn't
like it. She doesn't like the fact that they're helping Rand stay channeling.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it.
Yeah, so.
All right. Now, after Swan and Lyanna leave, it's just Nynaeve and Moghedien.
Yeah.
And Mogi does a little bit of taunting here.
She's trying to like worm her way into the graces of Nynaeve, sort of. Like the whole...
She's a little spider.
She is.
This is what she does.
Yes.
And then we get a whole lot of recap about the fact that Merrigan is actually Moghedien.
Who Moghedien is.
Yeah, she's posing as a refugee, that whole bit. Getting information out of her hasn't been very easy, and they don't know the right questions to ask.
Yeah, and she's not volunteering information. It's kind of like Asmodean.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that as soon as Asmodean, like, died and Rand lost his mentor, the women pick up their mentor.
Yeah.
I use mentor loosely.
Forced
coach.
Mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a lot of secrets. I don't know if you... and the weather's bad.
The weather's bad. There's a lot of secrets. It's clear the Dark One's work. It can't be changed.
Yeah.
But they have managed to learn a bunch of new weaves from Moghedien.
And they're passing most of them on to the Aes Sedai.
Most.
And getting huge props.
All right. And we learn about that in just a couple pages.
We do.
So let's jump right into our perspective change with Elayne. Because we enter with her just leaving the room. We get her thoughts about Moghedien and that whole situation, about the two kids who are, quote, her children.
Yeah, this
probably
is where...
orphans from Samara. Is that where they were? Yeah,
they were in Samara. But she does think that, she probably didn't do anything. Like, if I thought she did anything to these children, then, I'd be a lot angrier.
No, but that passage I just read
Yeesh.
About them being scared of everything, even their mother.
Oh, I know. I had that one written out too because that was a huge indicator, obviously.
Yeah,
and the fact that they don't speak at all,
yeah, whether or not. Yeah, there's definitely some compulsion happening.
There's something going on.
What did Moghedien do?
What did she do to the children? Okay. Anyways,
but of all the things that happen in these books, that's what we're the most concerned about.
Yeah.
Nah, I glazed over this, to be honest. I don't know.
Okay. Well, no time for that now. Elayne has more important things to think about.
Yes, she does.
Okay.
Because she doesn't want to think about that stuff, and she also doesn't want to think about her potentially dead mother.
Her totally not dead mother.
Yeah.
You know what? And she's right.
I know
That's the thing. We know that she's right, but she doesn't know that she knows she's right.
Yeah, but she thinks she's right.
She's
pretty
Is she in denial about it?
She's in denial.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Okay.
But now she thinks she needs to focus on this Min situation, so she heads off to find Min, and then we get a bunch of description about what Salidar is like now, because it has grown significantly.
There are, 2-3 really important things. Number one, they've named it the Little Tower.
Yeah.
They're meeting hall or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is they're still working on picking a new Amyrlin seat.
Yes.
And then the last thing is that the whole Bryn situation with raising an army is going very well, even though he's personally ignoring Elayne pretty much.
Yeah, well, we got tons of soldiers milling around this place.
There are lots of people, so good for them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, how long has it been? Just pick your new frickin' Amyrlin.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we talked about that a while ago when they were discussing who they were going to pick as new Amyrlin.
Yeah.
Now,
Swan clearly wanted Moraine.
That's what,
you were saying. And then I was like, Moraine's never going to want that.
And it doesn't matter now because where's Moraine?
Gone. Through the doorway. Hanging out with the snakes and or foxes.
And or Lanfear.
Both
Maybe they're all just having a time. Okay.
Not a good time, but it's a time.
So, I mean, if that was indeed their plan A, and then they're like, oh no, Moiraine's gone.
Uh-huh.
Now what?
Uh-huh.
Who's option B? Who's number 2?
I told you, it's Egwene.
I don't know if you said that. Did you say
that? Yes,
that?
of course I said that.
Okay, did you say that like back in the day?
Yes, I did say that.
So now option 2, B.
It's always been... No, Egwene has always been option A for me.
That's not what you said back in the day.
Yes, it is.
Go back and listen. I'm pretty sure you were like Moiraine train.
No, I was never on the Moiraine train because Swan is on the Moiraine train.
That's okay. Okay.
And I was like, Moiraine does not want that.
Okay.
She does not want to be Amberlyn. That's
all
the
right,
opposite of
right.
what she wants. She wants to stay out of the light.
So now it's Egwene.
Egwene.
Rolling on in.
Not now.
Later.
That's what I've always thought.
Okay.
Then,
all right.
Now, future.
Okay. Okay.
Because this is my prediction about how she's going to get onto the Amberlyn seat without taking the oath rods. Or the oaths.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So,
yeah, the oath rod. You got it right. Okay.
Except now I'm annoyed because, like, it's not really making a whole lot of sense anymore. Because they're not letting Elayne go without, being a full Aes Sedai. So.
Yeah. There's rules. I mean, there, and that wasn't that the testing? Like, you're really leaning hard on the whole, like, oh, that's the way it's gonna happen.
I would like for that to
sure.
happen.
Okay.
I think that would be very interesting to happen in these books, okay?
Okay.
I like to predict things that I want to happen more than I actually think will happen.
Okay. No,
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Except Egwene has a lot of ground to make up because Fires of Heaven was not her book.
Oh, like to get back into your good graces.
In my good graces.
Okay.
Because right now, Nynaeve almost might be higher than Egwene.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've always liked Nynaeve.
I know you have.
Like, from the beginning,
Yeah.
I've told you, like, I really love her as a character. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you also like Perrin, right?
I like Nynaeve more than I like Perrin, but I...
Do you like Elayne as a character?
Yeah, Elaine's got some kick-ass moments. I love her.
Okay.
When she's like,
do you just like all the characters?
No.
Liar.
There's probably one I could name I don't like. Else Grinwell.
You don't like her?
She was medium.
Okay. Barely a character.
She didn't take her studies seriously.
Way to go, Brett.
You had a chance.
She also was like, I don't know. All
yeah.
Right. Okay, moving on. We're gonna go find Min, but before that happens, we're gonna be intercepted by 2 Aes Sedai.
To give us some backstory.
Anaya and Janya.
Okay, Anaya's actually like a pretty big character.
Yeah.
She's done a lot of stuff.
That's a name I remember.
Okay.
So that's how you know she's done some things.
Here are some top moments.
She's a blue?
From Anaya. She's
that
a blue
correct?
sister. She's totally good with Moiraine. We've gotten that before. She was involved in Matt's healing at the tower. She's currently one of the main 6 in Salidar. And she was the one who like did the dream testing for Egwene. When they're like, oh, you might be a dreamer.
Right.
So Anaya's been there for a lot of this.
Yeah, I recognize her name. But Janya's new,
She's new. She's totally new. Yeah.
All right. Now, they're here to see if Elayne and Nynaeve have made any new discoveries today.
Today, specifically. So this is why I was saying that it's been a little bit of time.
It has been. Because they've been learning new weaves, and they've been passing them on, and we've already sort of talked about this, but now everybody totally loves Nynaeve and Elayne and are totally impressed by them.
Yeah, they're getting mad props for all their awesome discoveries.
And Elayne doesn't like getting props for things that she didn't do herself.
Yes. So, yeah. I got a thing to talk about here because there's a whole lot of tricks and we get a description of a bunch of the tricks that they're sharing, like the whole invisibility thing.
Yeah, inverting a weave.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is when we're introduced to that, we know that's a thing from Moiraine, for example. We've seen her do that kind of stuff. But now, currently, that they've brought these secrets out to the open, there's now, like, sisters are working together to improve on them. And they're like, oh, if we do a certain thing a different way, maybe we can be invisible while moving.
Yeah, and there's a couple who are, like, for certain weaves are just, like, way too good at it all
and they're
of a
like,
sudden.
they totally knew that already.
Yeah.
And now their secrets are being spoiled, like the eavesdropping thing. And then the sisters are working together because maybe they can, like, change it so they can talk to each other at a distance.
Right.
And what I'm thinking is, if you guys just got a bunch of new weaves, and now you're just, like, working together, and you're already starting to improve on these weaves, imagine what would have happened if you had have worked together on this kind of thing for, like, 3,000 years.
Yeah, instead of keeping all of your things secret from each other.
Yes, exactly. So things to think about. Yikes.
Well, we know that the White Tower has its faults, and that's just another one of them.
It's another one, so. But Elayne has made other ter'angreal, not just the Adam.
One other one, a green disc to make somebody invisible who isn't very strong in the power or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, good for her. She's actually like starting to make triangle.
Yeah, but she's not impressed with herself enough.
She thought it was going to be easy, and it turns out it's not that easy.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard work.
It's like, hey, you're the first person to do this in like forever.
Yeah.
So.
And she's being sulky, so the Aes Sedai tell her to stop being sulky, and then they leave.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Now, Elayne is struggling with the amount of secrets she's keeping, like Moghedien, Brigida, on multiple levels.
Yeah, there's like the Brigida is Brigida from, you know, who she is. And then there's
Novelier.
Yeah, and like she's my warder and
also that.
All the and like between different relationships.
That's the scariest one, probably.
Yeesh.
Like the Brigida in the real world situation.
Yeah.
I feel like, because they already know about the Tel'aran'rhiod stuff, they know that, like, a lot of them know that Matt sounded the horn, they know that they already said they, like, beat Moghedien somewhere, so, like, explaining how Brigida got here, and that she's actually Brigida, I feel like would be less terrible for Elayne.
Yeah. For personally, it would be terrible for Brigida if the Aes Sedai found out that she's, like, a Horn of Valyr hero. Like, that would be bad, because they would totally just, like...
want to study her, or... Yeah. I don't know.
They would, like, I don't know...
own her.
Put her in a bag and lock her away.
Let her go anywhere.
You can't go anywhere.
That wouldn't be great. But personally, for Elayne, that part wouldn't be as bad as them finding out she bonded a warder as an accepted.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I've said this before, but I don't think it was on a regular episode.
Okay.
But this whole situation about Elayne bonding Brigida... makes me think about how a red sister would feel about bonding a female warder.
Yeah, you definitely did say that. I feel like we did talk about that on an episode. Maybe we didn't.
I think it was in New Spring, though.
Okay.
But I just wanted to sort of bring it up again because I keep thinking about it.
It's totally a good idea.
Coming back to it because there are some badass females out there that would happily protect... Aes Sedai.
The issue is that the Aes Sedai are wrapped in like thousands of years of tradition, and it's really hard to break that sometimes.
Yeah.
But I agree 100%.
I know, because the Reds' problem, really, is that they don't like men.
Sure.
That's the only real reason for them not having warders.
Sure. So that's the thing, is like all it takes is like one person to change that, and then maybe we will see like a start of a new direction for the Reds. Like It's very possible, it's like this does come to light, and then one of the Reds is like, hey, what about this? And then it does actually start. Like, we could see a start of that at least.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up again.
Yeah.
All right, so nobody really knows the full truth of anything. Elayne hates that. And also, when her and Nynaeve were sharing their, like, quote, new weaves, it was pretty clear that the Aes Sedai have their own secrets too. But we already covered that, so we're going to move on.
Yeah.
Now, Elayne finally makes her way to Min because she has her regular spot she likes to go to.
We missed something, though.
Oh, what?
The weaves that they're not sharing with the other Aes Sedai.
Yeah. Okay.
We talked about the ones they are sharing. We got to mention and get on record the ones that they aren't sharing. Okay, so, like, compulsion is definitely one. Also, like, in compulsion is the whole, like, sleeper agent thing, where it's I put an instruction and then you don't know that it's there.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
sleeper agent style. And then we also have inverting a weave, so it can't be seen by anyone except for the person who wove it. That's really, it's basically invisible weaves, right? And then also how to disguise yourself to look different, which we know that, like, Lanfear did a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, and then hiding your ability to channel, because without that... you would get caught really quickly if you were forsaken hiding.
Well, that's clearly what Moghedien was doing when she was being this Merrigan on the boat.
So this is the big issue, is that literally anybody can be anybody at any time, always and forever.
And it's probably, I don't know if I completely agree with Elayne and Nynaeve not sharing stuff like that.
Sure.
But if that becomes, like, common knowledge, like, those aren't good things.
No.
But they aren't necessarily bad. Like, if...
it makes everybody a lot more powerful than we may be ready for. That's the thing, is everybody in the Age of Legends could clearly do these kinds of things, or knew that they were things.
Yeah, and who knows what the levels of, like, oaths were, if, like, everybody just happened to be... because we didn't really, apart from these...
What do you mean the level of oaths?
Well, like, I know we have those 3 oaths, like, I won't lie, and this and whatever, but, like, what if we could come up with a couple new ones?
Yeah.
That's like, I won't use my oaths for evil, or, like, to do harm or badness.
Okay.
But if I want to disguise who I am at an inn, on a secret blue mission...
then that's totally okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like it might make everybody too powerful too quickly, and we're not ready for that kind of thing to happen all at once very quickly.
It's just too schemey. Everyone would just use it for their own
immediately,
personal gain.
yeah. I mean, they do think about like, oh, and then if we reveal it, then people are going to be able to like reverse it. So then now Moghedien is going to get found out because we're clearly like hiding a bunch of stuff about her. So
yeah,
it's just like it's a can of worms, right?
That is indeed what it is.
I've never really understood that saying because like a can of worms, you open it up and it's just like they're worms and they're not going to go anywhere.
I don't know.
It's
maybe
like
they're
stuck
like
in a can.
Gross. Maybe they do start slithering out.
Maybe. Anyways.
Because once you can't get them back
it's
in.
It's like a can of grasshoppers because they would just like jump out of there. Yeah.
A box of doves.
But, yeah.
You know the wedding thing?
Unless you didn't poke air holes.
Don't do that.
And then it's like...
Oh, don't do that though. Don't use animals in your ceremony.
Okay.
Okay. Now, can we get to Min?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So she's got this regular spot because she likes to be away from the SN warders who all have tons of visions all the time.
Yeah.
And that must be exhausting for Min.
Totally.
Because...
yes. They don't know Min has the ability that she has.
No, but...
But for her
Elayne
seeing
does.
it... Yeah.
So then Min sees Elayne, and they have the whole, like, we need to talk moment. And Min is like, fuck.
Yeah.
So Min says Swan didn't tell her until this morning, and she wants her to spy on Rand for the embassy.
Yes, Swan wants Min to spy on Rand for the embassy and for Swan, basically for Swan.
Yeah, and then Elayne says, don't worry, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like Min is going to do it. So, yeah, I was going to ask, like, it does seem like Elayne and Min are on Team Rand, not Team Aes Sedai, which is a little bit interesting.
No, it's good.
Okay.
Elayne asks if Bryn is releasing her from her oaths, so that's just all sort of housekeeping stuff.
Little bit.
That they need. Not really.
It's like, not really. He's only
work it
interested
off
in
sooner
Swan.
or later. Swan's working for him.
Yeah.
And...
do you remember the viewing that Min had?
About Swan and Gareth Brand, about how they're attached, and if they ever leave each other, then one's going to die, or both are going to die, or something.
Awesome. You nailed it.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
So, we get some recap about Min's viewing abilities.
She can do that. Reading the pattern.
Reading the pattern. That's the first time we've heard it called that?
Yes.
Liana calls it that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, Elayne asks Min if she'll carry a letter.
Another letter. No,
Elayne.
Someone needs to like proof this letter first before we send another letter.
Only one.
Yeah, but
time.
there's section A and section B.
No.
It's broken up into two different parts.
No, just one. And someone needs to help her write it.
This next part of their conversation is so friggin' funny to me. It is so funny.
Well, they have a discussion about not letting Rand know about Min's viewings.
Yeah.
Because...
about the three women loving...
three women thing.
Yeah.
Because he finds out about it, he might decide to be like a moron.
Yeah.
And not let any of them near him. And then Min agrees, she won't tell. And then Elayne says, we can divide up Rand like a pie, and maybe let the third woman, whoever she is, have the crusts when she shows up.
It's so funny. Yeah. It's so hilarious because currently Avienda has the entire pie.
Yes, she does.
She got all of it immediately.
Yeah,
so,
she did.
Not immediately, but you know.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did.
She totally did.
And I mean, Elayne and Avienda are like, also friends.
I know. Or more.
Probably more.
I think Avienda likes Elayne more than she likes Rand.
Possibly.
Definitely.
And I kind of get that, so.
Yeah. So they're funny. They're busy about this whole thing.
Also funny is Elaine's thought process on why people would think Min is attractive.
Because she's older?
Well, because that's what she goes. She's like, I guess people might find that attractive if she's like older, and then maybe she's also pretty, and I get it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's kind of funny. So
right. So now Min and Elayne sit down to chat as friends, and Min asks about Brigida.
Yeah.
Because it's like she looks in dresses like Brigida from the stories,
and Min knows that Brigida thinks that she is the Brigida from the stories.
Yeah, but she doesn't believe it.
She doesn't believe it.
And Elayne sort of says, well, it's her real name, but, like, moving on.
She was born with the silver bow.
She was born with the name Brigida.
Yeah.
That's what...
Yeah, whatever that was.
Not born with...
it was a weird situation where she was born with something.
Her birth name is Brigida. Is that her real name? That's what they talk about.
Oh, yeah, even if her bow is in silver, I can't think she was born with the name. Oh, yeah, she was born with it, yeah, so...
Yeah, not
I read
the
that
silver
very
bow.
quickly.
Oh, yeah. That's a really Dani way of reading.
Yeah, it's like, something about a bow and being born with it.
Yeah, no, I picked up better than you did. All right, so they deflect and then they bring up how Nynaeve and Elayne are having issues, and it's all boring for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same. It's same stuff.
And then inevitably the conversation turns back to Rand.
This is an important part, though.
And the fact that he's the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, but the summary of how things are going, that's like the important part.
Mm-hmm. Forsaken are falling dead when he shows up.
Yep.
Nations are lined up to bow to him.
Which isn't not untrue, because he's got Tyr, he's got Kyrian,
Yep.
He's sort of got Andor, and if he for sure has Andor, he's going to get a bunch of the other ones. And he's got the Aiel, and it does seem like he's just kind of like...
And now it seems like he also has Salidar.
And like the Borderlands are probably going to like be scooped up too, because they are on board with Rand being the Dragon Reborn. They get the whole deal. So like he does seem to be
he
getting...
does have that.
Like most of the world.
Yeah, but then I don't remember which one of them says... At this rate, the last battle will be easy.
Yeah, that's Min saying that. She's like,
no.
Because also the Aes Sedai here totally support him, and Elida's probably just going to give him the tower too. It's like, okay, that's for sure not true.
None of this is right. And
okay.
they're like, we're winning.
Yeah.
Go Rand.
Go Rand. R-A-N-D.
Yeah. But as positive as Min sounds about this, it doesn't seem like Elayne totally agrees.
Yeah.
And then we're going to leave these women for now.
Yeah. F you. What does that spell?
Fired up.
Fired up.
Not really. All right. Guess who we're perspective changing to?
It took so long, but we're here.
We're here.
Not Perrin.
No.
It's not. It's not Perrin.
But I'm okay with that.
We are back to the Two Rivers after so long.
Kind of like being in Fael's perspective.
I like Fael.
Yeah.
There's definitely like I like Fael.
Yeah.
There's got to be someone I don't like.
Not like Fael.
Yeah.
I don't like Fael and Perrin's early relationship.
It does seem like they've grown since then.
It seems that way. And that's my hope for them, is that the trajectory of their relationship matures.
Is like it improves? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
good job.
Let's read and find out.
Okay.
So we're back to Emond's Field and the Two Rivers. Fael is currently in the middle of holding court, just as she does every afternoon, as for the proper way a lord's wife should do this.
Yeah, that's the job. And keep in mind, if you don't remember, Fael is actually like totally a noble from Salidar, so she knows all this stuff.
She knows all this stuff. It's very helpful.
Okay, when we read through this perspective, I need you to just think in the perspective that Fael is doing so much for Perrin by doing what she's doing.
Yes.
She's doing an incredible... She is literally building a new nation, so I need to give her like a round of applause for how awesome I think she's doing right now.
Yeah, she's doing good.
I absolutely love it. Because without Fael right now, the Two Rivers would not be where it is.
No, it would just be kind of the same.
It would be a dumpster fire.
It would be.
Dumpster fire.
With all the refugees and with everybody fighting.
Nobody leading and Sen Buey being a racist against refugees. Like, it would be terrible. And we need Fael to put everyone in line.
Yeah.
Because Perrin isn't going to do it.
No.
He is checked out of that job.
No, because he's not here.
Yeah.
He's not here to hold
I had to go on a little bit of a rant for that.
He's avoiding this job, and Fael keeps thinking about how annoyed she is that Perrin is avoiding this job.
Yes. He doesn't want to be here, and he's not.
All right, so recap on who Fael is, in case you forgot, because it has been...
over a book.
Over a book.
Yeah.
Because the last time we saw them, it was the Battle of the Two Rivers at
that was
the
like
ending of Shadow Rising.
And we got like hints about like what maybe was happening, but like totally not really.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah, the biggest things that we did get were from the dream world.
Yeah.
When other people were in the dream and there were two banners being flown and buildings were being
Yes, and we get the aftermath of that, and what's currently happening is the Two Rivers is growing exponentially.
That's right.
Huge growth. I love it.
Lots of growth.
Okay.
Plus, Fael's holding this court in this house, this like lord's manor.
Yeah, it's like a manor house.
That's been built for them, and Perrin thinks it's like too big.
Yeah, but it's also... It makes sense because people expect a certain something, and that's kind of like the entire perspective Fael has, is people expect nobles to do a few things and to act a certain way and to...
But in Perrin's view of the world, it's like this isn't other nations where people expect things from nobles.
Yeah.
The people here don't expect things like this from nobles.
Except Perrin is wrong.
I agree.
Because they are going to start expecting things, and they do.
Especially with like refugees coming in from other places.
Who've come from this. Like, if it was just still the same old Two Rivers, then sure, but it's not that anymore, and it's never going to be that again.
Okay.
So. Okay.
All right. So we get to see some of the issues that Fael is dealing with at this point.
Most important one.
Mostly this is just a way to give us a scoop on how things are going here in Emond's Field.
Yeah.
Since it's been over a book since we actually
Women
saw
are still fighting over Will Alcine.
Of course.
He's beautiful.
He really is.
Yeah, this is the guy I think Perrin was like, oh, he smiles too much, or he's like...
He's got a nice smile.
He's too pretty, or...
I don't know,
it was one of those things.
Yeah.
It was being like...
There it is.
There it is, yeah.
All right, so the important information is that the patrols that they've been sending out to root out any more Trollocs that were left over from the invasion have been finding tons of refugees coming in over the mountains from the west coast that's basically on fire over there.
Yeah, so we've got Almouth Plain, Terrebonne, Eridomen, and so everyone's literally tracking over the, I'm not going to say impassable mountains because they're not, but it's like the mountains of mist. It's a bad situation, and that's from the dumpster fire, again, that was like Falma, and the Shanshan, and the White Cloaks, and that whole terrible mess.
Yes.
That's all spilling over into Emond's Field right now.
Everything that was happening there.
All the stuff there. It's like all that stuff. It's all spilling over the mountains right now.
Okay, and then those that make it through the mountains.
There's a lot of dead people.
There's a bunch that did not.
Unfortunately. But the good part is that refugees are coming in and bringing new skills, new talents that are previously unseen in the Two Rivers. There's trades. There's like more people to help fill the
mining.
farms. There's tons of stuff. Like new industries are being created. So hey, there's a ton of awesome growth from the refugees coming in, and that's how it works in the real world too. Surprise,
cool.
Surprise.
There we go.
Yes.
So now Fael finishes with these foolish women by sending them to the Wisdom Days Conger.
Yeah, the ones who are fighting over Will.
And then old Sambuie comes in to complain about the refugees.
They're taking our jobs.
They are taking our jobs.
They're taking his job specifically because he sucks at his job.
Not really, because he still has his job.
He's not doing his job,
That's because there are more roofs than he could even thatch.
Yeah, it's like, and that's what she calls him out on too. But it's like,
but Haral Luhan has partnered with some newcomers.
Yeah.
Like the Forge grew. A bunch of people are all happy with this.
Yeah.
And then
economy's going to be booming.
Yeah. Fael threatens to have the tile roof, or the roof tile maker.
The tile guy,
do their roof.
Yeah, because they have like commissioned Sen to do the thatch for the roof, but he's not doing it.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, I guess you're too busy.
If you don't stop bothering me, I'm just going to use the other new guy, and then everybody in the village is also going to use the new guy.
Exactly.
All right. Now, the rest of the people aren't too bad. There's people who can study herbs.
There's like a bunch of like normal stuff.
Normal stuff.
Boundary and land disputes. There's like new trades workers coming in to get permissions. And then it's basically Fael. And this is why I was saying, like, Fael needs huge props. She's doing the boring administrative work that is literally helping the Two Rivers grow. So like, props to her.
All right. So next, we're pretty much done after a bunch of stuff happened. Then 4 women come in.
Okay.
And it's the wisdoms from around the Two Rivers. So we have the wisdom from Devon Ride.
Yep.
Emond's Field. Terran Ferry, which apparently is now a like little village again after it was like basically invaded.
Yeah.
And then we also have Watch Hill. That's one I couldn't remember.
Yeah. You
so
nailed it, though.
So we have the 4 wisdoms coming in. Fael is really wishing Perrin were here right now because these women seem to have a different respect for Perrin.
Yeah, I mean, he did the whole like saving, but also, come on, Fael totally saved the Two Rivers.
I know,
Let's
you
be
called
real
her
here,
Gandalf.
So. Yeah, I did. I offended a lot of people, but I stand by my statement.
You know who's eventually going to be the new Gandalf?
Oh my god, you're going to say Moiraine, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I can't, because it's like the whole comeback
It's the
in
comeback.
Like, it's
It'll
Moiraine
be
the
Moiraine
White. I love that you said that.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. If anybody else wants to take a drink.
Yeah. Did you pour these for a reason, or you just wanted
I was hoping that something would come and you made it happen.
Here we are.
So, okay.
I was actually thinking about that the other day, about how it's going to be a while. Everyone thinks she's dead, and then she's totally coming back, Moiraine the White.
Love it. Okay. To save the day.
That was really handy to have them right here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's whiskey. That's not your fancy... What did you say? Cocktail of chaos?
Cocktail of chaos.
Cocktail of chaos. Okay.
Yeah. Whew. Ouch.
You okay?
Yeah.
I have a book correction coming up.
Ooh. I
do.
love book correction.
Yeah. Because the wisdoms, because this is the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing. Number 1, they're here because 3 more boys have run off in search of adventure.
Dav, Ewan,
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor, and Elam.
Yeah.
So we know Ewan. But this is the thing,
and
because...
we know Dav.
Yeah, we know all of them. We've heard all of them before.
Oh, I don't know Elayne.
Yeah. Come on. It's Elayne.
It's Elayne.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the book correction is that Fael thinks of Ewan Fingar, the way it used to be written, and is written in my book actually, says, and Ewan was her own age. However, that would make Fael no more than 15 when she met Perrin. So it's like a situation.
What page? Let me look.
It is page about 30, 32, 34. It's 34. Yeah. Page 34. At the very top of the page.
Yeah, Elwyn was her own age.
Yeah, so that's the old version. So that would make him no more than 15 when she met Perrin. But
I
now,
also have an old thrift used bookstore version, so.
Yeah, so now the line reads, and Ewan not really that much younger than she herself.
Okay.
So it's like they changed it a little bit.
Well, all three boys are not that much younger than Perrin.
Yeah, they're not the right age. So they just change it a little bit so that she's a little bit older. So it's a little bit more acceptable. We're okay.
Well, I mean...
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just like, we're fixing things.
Sure. Okay.
But,
I appreciate that we're going back and fixing some things.
Yeah, but you know what? They're not really boys, so that's the whole point. Is like, we're not chasing after these guys. Yeah, it sucks, but like, you gotta let them go.
Does it suck? Like, I don't know. Let them.
Let them go bring back treasure from their adventures.
Okay, but now we get the real reason that the Wisdoms are here.
Yes.
They are concerned because it hasn't rained in months.
Yes, that is the big issue.
And
it's been a long time.
It sort of just seems like they're here for a pep talk.
They are, yeah. And that's what Fael figures out, so then she gives the pep talk. But, I mean, there's a few things that are going on. The springs are flowing, and Perrin has ordered more wells dug. Sort of, he ordered it, he didn't really.
And Fael introduced irrigation.
Because they do that in Saldea, and they don't do that here.
And no one had heard of that here?
Yeah, so it's like, hey, here's just like a quick irrigation system that we're going to set up.
Although it has to rain for the irrigation system to work or something, she notes.
I mean, yeah, but you could also set it up so that it's like bringing water down from probably water reservoirs or whatever.
Maybe.
So I don't know enough about irrigation to offer an opinion on this one, so I'm just gonna step back a second here.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
But she's doing stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what the pep talk's about.
We do get a little bit, too, that none of these wisdoms can actually, quote, listen to the wind.
Yes.
And,
I respect it, though, because it's like, we're not the magic ones, but we do the science stuff where we observe nature, and we look at stuff, and we look for signs of how animals are reacting, because that's, like, a real thing, too.
Yeah, and this weather isn't natural.
Yeah, it's bad.
We got it.
Do you get it now?
I get it. I get it.
The weather's bad. Okay.
So Fael has a bit of a casual conversation with these wisdoms. She pumps them up, tells them that
you go get it.
You are Two Rivers stubborn.
You can do it.
You're strong.
Yeah, you go tell the other people that
persevere.
Yeah.
Go. You're resilient.
And then we get that she's been doing some election tampering.
Oh,
no
yeah,
big
I
deal.
like that. No, she's been supporting strong and capable mayors.
That's what she thinks, and Perrin doesn't think so. He's like, that's election tampering. You're not supposed to do it.
Yeah, but so Taryn Ferry needed a new mayor.
Yeah.
And Fael knows that the Two Rivers needs strong mayors and strong wisdoms.
Yeah.
She notes that one of the wisdoms is like young and stupid.
Yeah.
And isn't good.
And like maybe if the mayor who gets elected is one who happens to support Perrin, that just might be good for everybody. So I'm going to go let other people know that we support him and he supports us. And that's election tampering. It's just like voicing your opinion though. But anyways, Perrin didn't like it. And he's like, hey,
don't do that.
Don't do that again.
Like, I won't do it again so that you find out.
Yeah, she's totally going to do it again,
That's definitely what that is.
I didn't say I don't agree with what she's doing here. I just
know.
said that it's, a little bit of tampering.
Yeah, well, I've been told that I'm not allowed to run a country, so don't ask for my opinion.
Yeah, I stand by that statement. There's a lot of great qualities about you, but, we're going to leave.
I can't wait to find those out.
Just leave the rest of it to other people.
The
nation ruling.
Okay.
Why can't we just lock people up forever? I don't even know.
With their heads.
Off with their yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
It's all good.
If they steal, get out of here.
Chop their hands off. There you go.
Oh my god. Okay, so now the audience is over. Fael goes to find Perrin. There's thunder and she's very excited, but it's not rain. It's heat thunder.
Heat thunder.
She finds him on the 3rd floor alone.
Yeah, more Perrin shenanigans.
Well, because she's tried to train servants.
And Perrin's like, they're drinking buddies.
Just keeps treating them like people to drink and laugh with.
Yeah. That's not how it works, Perrin.
Luckily, though, Perrin does not have an eye for any other women.
Oh, yeah, because a bunch are, like, trying to...
Wiggle in.
Yeah, get in his bedchambers.
They're trying.
Trying to do more than bring him...
Tea.
I don't even know. What do you do? Like, yeah.
Washing stands.
Yes.
To washing water.
It's not just about emptying chamber pots in this house. Gross.
So we get a bit of a summary of Emond's Field and the changes that are going on here.
Yep.
Tam and Aram are practicing with the sword. So
Aram's
that's still
getting
happening.
real good.
Aram the Tinker.
If you forgot about
Tinker.
Yep. Who like was hitting on Egwene way back in the day.
Yeah, and he's getting really good.
Yeah, very good. Like Tam's a blade master, or at least used to be. We don't know if he's still in that shape.
Yeah.
But he's got skills, and Aram is, like, catching up.
He's doing well.
Good for him.
So we also know that the Tinkers are still here, off in the woods a little bit, and they do not acknowledge Aram anymore because of the violence thing.
A little bit sad.
The village is growing fast.
Yep.
There's even talk of building a wall to keep out other possible...
Love it. Trollocs and stuff, yep.
And...
Loyal's still alive.
Loyal's here and reading books to the children.
It's so nice.
Even though they used to be scared of him.
Now it's like,
now it's story time with Loyal.
I love it so much.
Great. So...
You know that he loves it too.
The most surprising for me, the 3 Aiel...
They're still here.
Are still here.
Why would they leave?
I don't know. To go back and be with the Aiel, they should probably find out about what the heck's happening.
No. Perrin and Ghul are like BFFs.
Yeah, but now Perrin's leaving. Is
it's
Ghul going to leave
situation.
with him?
Well, I guess you'll have to find out. Do you think that the Aiel are going with Perrin? Because we get the whole like Fael's like, oh, I'm coming too, but then he's like, no, but she's like, maybe.
Yeah.
Because that's how it wraps up. But
yeah.
Do you think the Aiel are going with him? Do you think Loyal's going with him?
Let's get to the part where we find out that he's leaving.
Okay.
Because we also need to talk about how the 2 Aes Sedai were here up until a few weeks ago, and that was...
What's the timeline on that?
Alanna and Varen.
Yes, Alanna and Varen, what was the timeline for them leaving? So why would they leave now?
What was the timeline for Fires of Heaven? Like 3 months or something? It's somewhere between 2 and 6 months, I think we've decided.
Sure. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So when did they leave and why? So what was like the big notable event, or was there a notable event, or was it just like we've spent long enough here? Time for us to go.
Yeah, I think that there's...
Did they get summons? Like, was it a Salidar thing? Was it a White Tower situation?
It might be.
Like that whole shenanigans word finally they found out, like, oh my god.
It might be.
So yeah.
There's a lot going on in the world. And like, why are Varen and Alanna just hanging out here now that there's no real, actual anything going on here?
Yeah. Well, and it's the whole, like, Perrin's a Taviran, and...
Varen was studying him.
Yeah, she likes her note-taking.
Yeah.
Alanna was recovering from, like, a,
I feel like there's a lot more going on there. I just don't trust any Aes Sedai.
That's
Even
true.
if they're not Black Aja, I just don't trust any of them. I have no idea what their motives are.
When you say even if they're not, like, in general, if Aes Sedai are not Black Aja?
Yeah, like if Varen or Alanna
are
not Black Aja, I still don't love I don't trust their motives or what they're doing.
Okay.
But they're
Did you say
both...
in book 4 that one or both are Black Aja?
No.
Okay.
I've always speculated Varen.
Yeah, I know, and you don't have a very good justification for it.
Yeah. Gut check.
Yeah, your gut check is always right. We know that.
I mean, like, it's right more than it's not. So
I don't know if that's true.
In my opinion.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Things to look for. They're gone now. We'll probably see them at some point again, so okay.
All right. Fael tells Perrin that he has a duty to these people, even if he doesn't like it.
Yep.
And then Perrin says, I know I do, but I'm out.
See you later.
I'm leaving.
This is huge, though.
I can feel him tugging at me. It's Rand. He needs me.
Okay, and this seems like patterns. This is like when Matt either could or could not leave.
Yeah.
When it's like the tug, where Matt, for example, in Tyr, it's like he physically could not go. Every time he was like, I'm leaving, it was like, actually, I'm going to stay here and have a few more drinks.
Yeah.
Until finally, and then in Kyrian again, it's like, hey, I can go now. But not really, you're still here. So now it seems like it's the pattern being like, hey, Perrin, Rand needs you. And why does Rand need Perrin now? Or soon. He has to get there. So
probably part of the pattern. Yeah.
Don't say it, because then the episode ends. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, but things to think about again.
All right.
Okay.
So now, Fael asks what he's going to do, and Perrin's like, well, I'm going. I'm leaving
go.
tonight while everyone's asleep. I sneak out. That's what I do because I don't like confrontation or...
The worst part is, he's like, I also talk to everybody except for you.
Yeah.
He spoke with Tam and Abel and the Wisdoms, apparently. And it's like, everybody knows, you don't know.
Because I knew that you were going to try to fight it.
Exactly.
And then he tries to tell her that she can't come because it's too dangerous.
Yep.
But then catches himself and switches it to, one of us need to stay here to run the 2 rivers, and you're much better at that than I am.
So, yeah.
So,
okay,
you gotta stay here.
I need predictions from you.
Yeah.
Okay. Perrin's clearly going.
Yeah.
Who is going with him? So we've got on the table, we've got Loyal, we've got the Aiel, we've got Fael.
Yeah.
Who's going with him?
I think Loyal and the Aiel are going to go with him.
Loyal and the Aiel. Okay. And
I think that Fael's going to stay in the 2 rivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think any of the other people are going with them? For example, like Tam, Abel?
No.
Aram?
No. Maybe Aram.
Aram
seems to be sticking right by his side from last we saw.
True. There was a definite connection.
Because anytime Perrin tries to leave by himself, he always takes a bunch of people with him.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even matter to me who's going.
Well, that's what Fael thinks. Is like, she says, I got to get an entourage together. We got to leave in style. We got to have like a bunch of people.
Procession.
Because also, if you think about it, it's Perrin, the Lord of the 2 Rivers now, going to Rand, who is currently, and this might change, but is currently in Caemlyn, which is like the whole rebellion in Andor situation. So there's a lot of moving pieces here. So it might be beneficial if he goes with an entourage to Caemlyn. I mean, we don't know what they know about Morgaze and all that stuff, too.
Yeah, I really don't think, like, when you say entourage, I picture lots, like, a procession.
Okay.
Like, Rand showing up everywhere with, like, 10,000 Aiel.
Yeah.
I think that Perrin showing up with, like, 6 other people is not an entourage.
Okay.
That's, like, sneaking in.
You know who is also in Caemlyn, though, besides Rand?
Matt.
Okay. Who else? Is Matt even there?
Davram Bashir.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Although, maybe. They're in, like, Brahamwood, and, like, maybe they left now because they're not searching for Taim anymore.
Sure.
So
but Davram did pledge himself to Rand at the end of Fires of Heaven.
Sure, but that doesn't mean he's just, like...
It doesn't.
Sticking around.
But it's also Fael's dad, and I have to bring it up.
Yeah, I know.
Because like,
I'm actually surprised they're still here, just in the 2 rivers.
So,
I thought for sure they'd be not here.
Yeah.
This was kind of surprising for me.
Okay.
This isn't what I predicted. So
interesting. Okay. So yeah, a lot of moving pieces, and we got a really good... Lord of Chaos is such a good book. Oh my god, it's so good. It's amazing.
I know. People keep saying that.
Oh yeah, like this is for sure a contender for people's like favorite book.
I know.
Or like top 3. It is
I know.
Very powerful.
I wonder, because at the end of Fires of Heaven, I declared Fires of Heaven my favorite book.
You did. This might take the cake. I don't know. We'll see.
It might. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we got to go and finish the prologue now, so...
Yeah, we do. Okay, I'm excited for that. And so, before we get summoned to Shayol Ghul to get told a bunch of instructions from the Dark One, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Essen, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Megan Smiley, and Jonathan Reese, with music by Audionautics.com. If you're interested in supporting us and the podcast, you can head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. And for all things The Wheel Weaves, like how to get in contact with us, how to find our social media, how to join our Discord, how to send us really cool shot glasses, and for just general information, you can find us at thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please remember to tell a friend about us, leave that 5-star review, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for sticking around to the end. This is really part of the pattern now.